So the feedback that comes has to be a logical feedback. For example, let's say there's a background color which is yellow and a client wants green. My question is that why do you want it green? You and me collaborate often on different projects, right? So let's say that media buying strategy is coming from you. The creative idea and execution is coming from me. And this campaign goes live and it fucking bombs. Okay? Who's to blame?
Short answer is you. New client onboarded, full conversation has happened, onboarding calls, you're aligned. When you start creating creative, they come back with a very different take. Okay, we should not be saying this, but we should be saying this. You iterate on it, you send a version 2, right? But they do it again, but they do it the third time, but they do it the fourth time. Who's to blame?
You know this famous saying that इसमें मजा नहीं आया. The way to beat that is to build in the logic, because the creative hasn't just popped out of my ass. It's a result of logic. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome.
Can I steal a bite of your sandwich?
Yeah, go for it.
Thank you. Please continue.
Welcome to yet another episode of This Living Room. What we're going to do tonight is a series called Who's to Blame?
Thank you very much.
And we're doing this because the last time we did this, it went massively viral. So we thought we want to cash in on that virality. And do more in that series. So it's very simple. This is how it works. I ask Adi a question and I round up that question and say, who's to blame? And then Adi asks me a question and goes on like that for a while.
Before we get into the questions, I have a question.
Oh, okay.
If we continuously keep taking blames for everything,
But we aren't.
I think last time we took blame for everything.
We're magnanimous like that.
Yeah, it might not be the best thing to do. But anyway, let's see if we have to take blame again.
I'll ask you a question. I have the questions written down here.
Go for it.
You have a great client, great working relationship, good work happening. And for some reason, there is a pain point that's developing concerning work, concerning a campaign that you guys are working on. And you know how sometimes these things get blown out of proportion, right?
Yeah.
Your client servicing partner gets into a massive tiff with the client on something which has been, simmering. And it gets so blown out of proportion. You aren't part of the conversation. It's just your client servicing partner and the client. And it gets so blown out of proportion that the client says, thank you very much. We're better off doing business with someone else. Who's to blame?
In this case, the situation is to blame. And I'm assuming that when you say client servicing partner, you're meaning my co-founders and not somebody from my team? Because my answer will be very different.
No. Someone from your team.
Someone from my team, right? Okay.
Not your co-founders.
Not my co-founder. Okay, got it. So, in the past, there have been situations like this where there have been conflicts with multiple brand partners, right? And see, ours is not a cheers. Ours is not a campaign-driven business. Ours is a regular retainer kind of business, right? So, largely, I think what tends to happen is that if there is mistrust which creeps in, that is when these things go bad, right? Where they start believing that either the team which is deployed on the account is not vested or they're not competent. If this feeling starts happening, right? And if it becomes us, you versus me, then it's a conflict. Now, as a practice, what we do very rarely is change people on an account. We have done it occasionally where the relationship is really just not worked. But then it's been a fair conversation between the brand and us.
Okay.
Right? And we've done that. Usually there will be some sort of intervention pre the relationship reaching a phase where there is no coming back.
Yeah.
But in case it happens, it happens. right? And the way we do the post eval of the situation is that we have to be convinced that the work that we put in was to the best of our capability. We were not cutting corners.
That, I don't think you answered my question. My question was, let's say you and me are having a tiff, right? Suddenly I get up and smack you across your face. Now, I've escalated the situation, I haven't de-escalated it.
Yes.
Right? I'm saying, in a situation like that, you aren't privy to what's happening between your client servicing partner and your client.
Yeah.
You don't know. But some shit has gone down. Shit which could have been just negated.
Okay.
And because of that conversation that's happened with someone from your team, your client says, thank you very much. Pleasure doing business with you, but I don't think we can move on. That particular situation.
Then the team is to blame. And I'll tell you why. Again, going back to one of our core values, respect is one of our core values. Okay. And by respect, the way we define it is that we will maintain respect internally between the team, irrespective of the hierarchy of the organization, right? We will treat our partners with respect and we will expect
that-
the same amount
Yeah.
of respect back. If the escalation has happened by my client servicing person, right, or somebody in my team, then that person is to blame, right? Now, the person has full right to, in any conversation with the brand, if the brand team is escalating, right, if they're shouting and yelling happening from the brand team, to say that, listen, boss, this is not acceptable. But they can't be doing it. That is a very clear cut thing. If that is the situation, then the blame is totally on the team. Because it's very clearly communicated, as in it's part of the induction process, right? And we take it seriously, even internally. And there are tempers, right? People have tempers.
Correct,
there are
yeah.
situations. There are times when this has happened within internal teams as well. Somebody has said something to somebody and all that escalation has happened. But the right and wrong is later. But first, it is saying that this behavior is not acceptable. Then we get into right and wrong. So, short answer is that the blame is on the person
Okay.
from the team.
Your turn.
Okay. So, there's a brand that you're working with. Okay. And it's a brand where you've deployed team, right? As in you're not directly working, there's a team deployed. But over and over again, they just don't get it. Either they don't get the visual language right, or they don't get the tone of voice right. You know that it's not right. You've tried explaining, all this has happened, right? But every time the output goes to the client, or let's say you review the output, there is something amiss. So who's to blame?
Okay, I have a follow-up question. Is this happening on just this client or other clients that let's say this creative team is also handling?
No, right now it's a single client. So this is an isolated issue.
No, but they're also handling other clients,
Yeah,
right?
they get it generally right, but this particular case they're not.
I would lean towards the fact that I'm to blame for this. Because if it was a matter of they're not being able to perform on multiple clients, then it's not about me. Then it's about them. The fact that they haven't matured up to a level where they can sort of take on the business, right? But when someone, first of all, there's a lot of training that happens, regardless of designation, whoever comes, getting, just working with me requires a certain bit of a time, let's say, right? Now, let's say that all of us have put in that time and other businesses are working perfectly fine. It's just this particular client. Maybe I haven't been able to distill my vision down to what needs to be done. And this has happened, by the way, in the past.
Yeah, so this is a real life situation, right?
Yeah.
As in this is not something which doesn't happen. How do you fix this? As in, what is your process of fixing this?
I get down and dirty. So I start. So basically, let's say you're part of my team, right? You're firing on all businesses except this one, right? So I'm going to ask you to join me on a Zoom call from morning till night and just observe how I would do it, right? So from a copy perspective, from a design, even though I'm not a designer, I'll be able to do enough for you to get an idea.
Sure.
Right? So just shadow me for a couple of days, just see how this is working. Beyond that, I can't do anything. So if it comes to a point where, you're still not being able to crack that client, then I'll have to bring in someone else. move you to another client and bring in someone else for this particular client. So the second thing hasn't happened. I mean, what's happened is the fact that, but a team hasn't gotten the, just striking that right tone. That more than anything. Just that tone.
It's like it's 80% there, but it's not there. That kind of miss that tends to happen. And the team gets stuck there.
Correct.
And then you get into that loop where you just don't get it.
Yeah. That's happened multiple times. Not just with the voice company, but with other agencies that I worked with. It's a hard thing to crack, because sometimes it comes, the same people, when they work on another account, they'll immediately get it in a day. So it's not their fault. It's just that sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. It's happened with me also.
And the cool thing is that's part of the creative process, right? As in you can do kick-ass creatives on 5 out of your 6 clients, but the 6th one you will not get it right.
Yeah.
So the way I have tried doing this is that, so number one, give feedback, right? Show references, give feedback saying this is what is expected, this is where it is. Then what I have kind of learned works well, at least in my setup, is that I get other people involved. Right? So let's say it's art, right? Get another designer involved and say that you have a look at it. Get a third person involved, right? Very recently, we were, for one of the brands, we had to do some 50 meta ads or something like that. And the copy was not right. Right? And one of our better resources, right? Who writes for that account, it's again like that.
Just wasn't being able to catch it.
90% there, but the last thing was missing. We said that open it up to the team and let like 3 people write all of it, and we'll just get more heads in it, get together, and got cracked.
But that's exactly what used to happen when I was with large network agencies. We could do that. So when, like, let's say I had a team of 20 people, I could just give out a brief to 20 people and say that, okay, now experiment, show me. Right? And it wasn't a question of picking what was best. It was a question of, once everyone had visibility of the breadth of work that was happening, suddenly you think to yourself, that this is not the only way to look at that problem. There's so many different ways to look at this problem, right? So but when you operate in a smaller setup, obviously you can't afford to do that, because like I have particular people deployed on particular brands, so I can't pull them in suddenly. So I would do the first thing. If the first thing doesn't work, then maybe I would do the second.
So I do the second thing first, and then I do this first thing later. I think the other important thing is that between the team, right, it has to come from a place of a lot of trust. The moment it becomes about the person becomes defensive.
Absolutely. But
and that, if there is that element of trust within the team, then this model works. Right? Saying, hey, listen, this is not about you. This is about this particular brand. You are doing really well on the other things that you're doing, but get help.
Absolutely. No, one of my more senior people, he's very good on mostly everything. But one thing, we were working together, he just wasn't being able to crack it. It wasn't his fault. Sometimes you just need to look at it from a different lens. That's all. Okay, my question.
Okay.
An interesting question, because we've done this in the past. You and me collaborate often on different projects, right? So let's say that media buying strategy is coming from you. You've laid out this entire plan. The creative idea and execution is coming from me. Okay? So in the truest sense of the word, it's a collaboration.
Got it.
Right? And this campaign goes live and it fucking bombs. Okay?
Got it.
Who's to blame?
Short answer is you.
Why the fuck?
I'll tell you why.
What the fuck, man?
In our previous conversations, you basically said that I asked you this question, that have you ever worked with a brand or a client where you've not been aligned to the brief or the strat? And you said that has never happened. And then I asked you a follow-up question saying, if you are, then you would say I would voice my opinion, and then we would align on the strat. So you will not start creating till you're aligned on strat? You're convinced about strat?
Okay, let me give you another point.
Hold on. This is what you said.
We have
evidence of this.
I'm agreeing to this.
Okay.
I'm agreeing to this. I'm saying I am aligned to the strat, which is why I'm beginning the creative process. I don't have a problem with the strat. Or even if I had a problem, I would have told you, we would have fixed it together.
Correct.
And then I would have worked on it. I'm saying the strat itself is wrong.
No, but how can you be aligned to a wrong strat?
Why?
Arey, you also have a brain, na? If you see the strat,
Arey, both of us can be wrong, no? If the strat itself is wrong,
very unlikely that two people, and let's say Vishal is also involved and Sumit is also involved, and there are 5 brains involved.
are you saying that strategy, let's say the strategy created by an agency is always right?
No.
The strategy could be wrong, right? If the strategy is wrong, then the creative is wrong. Even though I agree with that strategy, which is why we're doing the creative.
Okay. So now we have come to a decision tree. Okay. Strategy is right, strategy is not right. Okay. So let's say strategy is right. Campaign bombs, your fault. Okay. Because after that,
But we don't know.
I'm saying 2 scenarios, right? Strategy is right, creative is on strategy, then not your fault. Right? But if creative is not delivering on strategy, your fault.
Yeah.
If
Completely.
strategy is wrong, then it stops, irrespective of whether the creative is great or not. Right?
No, but if the you don't understand what I'm saying. There's the strategy that we know between you and me, and we create. And then the consumer is not looking at strategy, right?
Correct.
Consumer is looking at creative.
Correct.
The creative is built on a backbone of strategy.
Correct.
If that strategy is wrong,
Yeah.
then they're not going to connect with the creative, right?
Which is exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
So if strategy is wrong, then I'm to blame.
But we don't know that. We will never know that. I'm saying. How would we know? How would someone come and tell you that look, इसमें thinking गलत है? People react to creatives. People don't react to strategy.
So let's say you do post research, right? What you will be able to figure.
Like for example, let's say you gave me a target audience
No, hold on.
to go after.
Let me finish this train of thought, right? If you do post research and you ask the question of what is the key message recall on this creative, okay? If consumers are playing back your key message, okay, that means the creative is delivering. Okay. Now, despite that, if business outcomes don't happen, then that key message itself is incorrect.
Correct. Yeah.
So that is the way to know.
Yeah.
If suppose you ask the same question of key message recall,
And people don't get the key message only.
it's muffled, they say weird shit.
Yeah.
Then it's a creative.
That's my fault. Yeah.
So that's how it is. See, and largely in this case, right, the role of media buying is very minimal. Okay. Media buying is more efficiency. As in, you spend 100 rupees, you will get
I understand that.
1,000 views or 1,200 views.
When you
right?
send me a brief, media buying is not part of that. When you send me a brief, there's a lot of context of the brand,
Correct.
who we're going
Correct.
after. Now, I might have no knowledge about this at all.
Correct.
Or a viewpoint for that matter.
Correct.
Because I don't know the category well enough.
Correct.
You should know the
Yes,
category well enough,
absolutely.
right? So you've told me that, for example, for this brand, the ideal target audience is, let's say, housewives from 40 to 50 years old, right? I'm building the campaign with that.
Correct.
Maybe that's not the target audience at all.
As in, such blunders will be very rare, these extreme blunders, but the kind of blunders which will happen is that what do we need to say for them to try the brand?
Yeah,
What will move the needle?
correct.
Those kind of blunders might happen. That, so for example, if we say that, hey, we will dial up the science on this, and if people get the science, they will buy. Right?
But suppose they're not interested in science at
Correct.
all.
So
now
those-
that information I'm not going to
So
have.
those kind of blunders might happen, right? But getting the TG wrong, all of that, very, very unlikely, right? Because again, there are so many people involved, and as in we are not solely deciding, right? The brand team is involved.
Correct. Yeah.
Large blunders will not happen, but messaging level blunders are possible, which is why a lot of times the strategy goes wrong as well. I don't think the strategy goes wrong at that macro level where you're just targeting the wrong audience, right? Which possibly also happens in the case of new technology and new categories. Like when you're launching a category which has not existed before, you might think the use case is X, but the use case is possibly Y. Right? There, that thing happens, and then eventually customers discover it. Right? Like you've created some like this handheld, let's say, fitness trackers. Right? You think only people who are deeply into fitness will buy it,
Correct.
but a large chunk of people who are not deeply vested in fitness use it as a way to manage their guilt around not doing too much about their health.
Yeah.
Right? Because the guy who's working out seriously doesn't need to track. Like he's doing his shit. Right? So those things happen. Right? But It's more execution, as in it's more what message,
Yeah, you're
what
right.
will move. That is where the strategy will go wrong. The point I was trying to make earlier also was that, see, the role of media in this, right? So let's say strategy, creative, and media. Media will. It's a money conversation basically around media, right? If you spend 100 rupees, you get 100 views. You'll possibly, if you do it really well, and if you get some sort of arbitrage for that 100, you might be able to get 130. And if you do it badly, you're going to get 90, right? But the success or failure of the bombing of the of a campaign is largely strategy and creative. Media doesn't play that much of a role in the campaign. As in, I don't think of an example where great strategy, great creative, and bad media execution has led to a campaign. Like, how bad can media execution get?
Yeah, I mean, unless it's not spending any money at all. I mean, like, piddly amount of money.
Which is client is going to give you budget, right? Or brand will have a budget. Very unlikely. As in, I'm trying to think of a scenario where how wrong can you go in your channel selection on TV? How wrong can that happen, right? As in, these are fairly standardized things. Or on Meta or YouTube, how wrong can you go? Very unlikely that media will be ever to blame.
Okay, your turn.
New client onboarded, okay, for you. Full conversation has happened, onboarding calls, you're aligned, you've got a good brief about the brand, you've had your initial points of view, all that has happened, okay. When you start creating creative and you share something, they come back with a very different take. Okay, we should not be saying this, but we should be saying this. We should not be saying this, but we should be saying this. And you first take that feedback, you iterate on it, you send a version 2, right? But they do it again, but they do it the third time, but they do it the fourth time. Who's to blame?
Client.
Okay.
Very simple. So, this has happened before. Not recently. It's happened like a long time back. So, the whole idea is to lock in on a direction from a strategic point of view, right? Now, on creative, I'm of the opinion that if there is a logical reasoning to leading to creative, then there's not going to be a lot of debate on, this famous saying that isme maza nahi aaya. The way to beat that,
It's not sexy.
yeah, it's not sexy. Things like the way to beat that is to build in the logic. If you've built in the logic, then as a client, you're already agreeing with the logic and the creative execution. There's a 10% chance that you won't agree with it because the creative hasn't just popped out of my ass. It's a result of logic, right? Now, a couple of scenarios in this. If this sort of first way to control the situation is to have an honest conversation with the client saying that, look, just like you know your business, I know my business, right? You've agreed on the strategy so far. Just trust me on this. Take a step back. Let me do my shit, right? At which point the client could react in a couple of ways, right? They could say, you're right. A good client will say, you're right. As long as it's delivering on what we wanted to deliver, right? We trust you. A bad client would say, fuck off, your agency, I'm client, I want it like this. Now, I have two decisions to make here at this juncture. Is the money worth it? Is the money not worth it? For example, if the retainer is a lakh a month and I enter into this conversation, I'm most probably going to say, you know what, this isn't working. This is not what I want to be doing. Okay, I'm not aligned.
Yeah, okay.
Right?
Yeah, if I'm getting, there'll be a threshold above which you'll take that shit.
If I'm getting 10 lakhs a month, I'll say, you wanted red? I'll make it red. You wanted yellow? Yeah, take yellow. I have salaries to pay. And
no, fair enough.
I will push, but I'm not going to keep on, I'm not going to bang my head against a wall. So that's the way I would deal with the situation.
Fair, and completely agree. I think there's only one situation where, suppose there is new information, right? There has been some new research, there's been some new finding, there's been some new discovery, they've met 50 consumers and found something.
And they've come and told me that.
I'm happy to take that.
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
But it can't be a constant back and forth. That is not acceptable.
Of course.
As in, you have to lock in the strat
No,
first.
but also the feedback that comes has to be a logical feedback.
Yeah.
If, for example, let's say there's a background color which is yellow. and a client wants green. My question is that why do you want it green?
Yeah.
If I can answer the question as to why it is yellow,
Yeah.
then you should be able to answer why do you want it green.
Yeah.
It can't be
मेरे को अच्छा लगता है.
मेरे को yellow अच्छा नहीं लगता है.
हाँ.
That can't be the fucking reason.
Yeah. No,
You
fair. Cool. So you can hire, like in the agency, you can hire talent whom you think is top talent. But the problem is those guys don't remain.
There's a variety of people to blame. There's a variety of people, situations to blame.
Oh no.
Money is to blame. Maybe I'm not paying them well enough. The clients I have onboarded, the clients are not to blame, but
Can't find it either anyway.
those clients could be to blame. As in not the clients themselves, but the list of clients that I have. Right?
No, but list of clients they know before they join, na Baba? You've told them who you're
No,
working.
but clients keep changing, no? So,
Okay.
the generation could be to blame.
Why generation now? Why are you globalizing this?
Because I see a lot of there's a lot of data to suggest that people in like your age group and my age group, we had far longer stints at workplaces than the younger generation today. So
Okay.
that's why. And then it's not a question about not sticking with this particular company. It's a question of not sticking with any company.
Okay.
You know, but as I said, there are a lot of factors. Now, which factor is going to supersede the other, nobody really knows. But there are a lot of things to blame for this particular kind of situation.
So, under what situation are you to blame? Not being able to pay enough money?
I am not to blame for that.
But again, what are the situations? Where will you take the blame, saying that okay, if I'm not
No,
able
I'm not going to take blame for this.
retaining talent it's none of it is.
No, I can't be to blame for this because see, it's a question of mathematics. If I am making, let's say 2 lakhs a month, my company is making 2 lakhs a month, right? Out of 2 lakhs a month, let's say 50,000 is mine. I only have 1.5 lakhs to give away as salary.
But they agreed to the salary, so.
But they agreed during that time. Maybe they're not happy with that number 3 months later. Maybe they've got.
Then it is them to blame. As in, if it is 3 months later, then it is them to blame.
Correct. Right.
Yeah, but let's assume that money is off the table because they agreed to a salary. Okay, so money is off the table. Then who's to blame? Under what situation are you to blame?
I like me as a person today and how we are at the voice company. I'm not to blame. I would have. I can answer. I would have been to blame.
Correct. This is a hypothetical.
Yeah, I would have been to blame if the culture wasn't great. If I was always on a fucking pedestal. If I was a fucking fascist in the way I did and spoke to people, then of course I'm to blame.
Yeah. Not being able to provide a growth environment and growth culture.
Absolutely.
That's basically
yeah, absolutely. But in this particular say, I'm saying that like I'm not to blame in this because I know how we are. But sure, I mean this kind of situation, if it happens, then the person who is the founder of the company is to blame because if you can't provide that kind of situation, then people are going to leave.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
Now that there is no written question, I give you the opportunity to ask me anything that is coming to your head right now.
Personal or professional?
We have discussed that previously.
This is not a work question at all, but it will be an interesting conversation nonetheless, I think.
This is called shooting yourself in the foot, which I have done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but now that I've done it, I might as well.
We have a great relationship. We've been friends for a while.
Yeah.
And I mentioned this is not a work conversation at all.
Yeah.
If this friendship were to break up, who do you think would be to blame?
Very interesting.
Knowing you,
Huh.
knowing me, who do you think would be to blame? The most likeliest of situations.
Your wife thinks you, by the way. She pointed a finger at you. No, but I think it's going to be me to blame. Because while I'm trying very hard not to be like that, but if I decide to check out from people, then there's no coming back. I don't give that opportunity for that comeback to happen. So I let it simmer for a while, and if I check out, I don't. The rollback is not an option for me. It's a bad.
But I also have checkout syndrome.
So then.
So both of us have checkout syndrome.
Yeah.
It takes me a while to get through checkout. And there
Same
have been a
here.
lot of fuck ups for that checkout to happen.
Same here.
But if I've checked out, I've checked out.
Yeah.
But okay, so you're saying the only reason that this could break up is because both of us have the syndrome that
Yeah, and or if either of us does something which breaks the code of friendship, right? As in, then it's an immediate cut. But
like you ate Ivy's ice cream.
yeah, but
That's breaking the code of
she
friendship.
loves me too much, and we are still brothers. But if something that kind of situation happens, that kind of situation aside, it's a simmering thing for me. I think it'll kind of get there, and then I'll be like, okay, done.
Okay. Okay, cool. Hopefully this will go viral as well. But
Virality chahiye, virality.
yeah, but make it go viral. Like fucking like or comment or whatever it takes for this to go viral. But we'll see you again for the next episode. We don't know what we're going to do for the next episode. We'll find out. You will find out as well. Thank you for watching.
Also, we have goofed up on the episode numbers once, hence we have stopped talking about our
Yeah.
episode numbers.
And what the episodes are going to be
And
about.
somebody pointed it out to me that I'm watching episode 2, but it says episode 3 or something like that.
Yeah, which is fine, yeah.
Yeah, but there was a human being who saw it and got very
There are human beings who are creating it.
who got deeply disturbed with the
Deeply disturbed.
Yeah.
Was this person triggered?
No, not triggered, but disturbed. So we shall not make that same mistake once again.
How toxic.
Thank you very much. Good night and goodbye.